Good morning, everyone. Here it is, time for another terrific Tuesday card. My name's Sherry Minnie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Right now I am visiting Lake Havasu City, Arizona for several months and enjoying the sunshine and everything. So today we're going to do a card. I actually needed an anniversary card. Even though I'm not at my church, at home at my church, I am still trying to send out cards for my birthdays and anniversary ministry. So today I needed an anniversary card and I did not have anything appropriate with me, so we're gonna make one. So it just says, so very happy for you, and on the inside I put always and forever, and I'll just write a happy anniversary because I don't have an anniversary stamp for some reason. I have it at home, but not here. So today's what we're using are a few of the bundles that are featured in the online exclusives that will become live on March 1st. You can go onto my website at sherryminnie.stampinup.net and get a view of all of those. They have some really nice sets. Also, there is free shipping coming up. I believe it starts the 18th. Maybe is it today? I'm sorry, I don't have the date in front of me, but you can certainly find that out on my website also. And as always, the details for this card will be on my blog at simplylovestampin.com. So to start off with, we are using the Scalloped Wishes bundle. This is the stamp set, and I'm actually not using any stamps out of here, but we are using the dies. And so here are the dies, and we're going to use this scallop die with the oval. And that's the only one we're using out of here. I really like the scallop treatment on these. You can do dragonflies, butterfly, leaves. It's just a real fun, pretty set. And then we're also using, let me find a place to stick this, we're using the Delicate Whispers out of this set. Here is the stamp set, and we are using just this flower, and I think that's all. And then on this side, the only die that we are using, and let me see if I can find it amongst all of these. Hopefully it's still here, that I haven't misplaced it, because oh, how I hate that when I do that. I do believe, oh yes, it's this one up here right in the corner. That's the one we'll be using, and actually I just will pull that off so that when we're ready to use it, I have it out already. And then for the inside greeting, we are going to be using just a stamp from the Forever Florals, and this is Always and Forever. It has a nice thinking of you, and then it has the matching set with a very pretty kind of outline area for it. You can make a frame, I guess is the proper word, so that's what we're using for that. We are using some dimensional or some embellishments, and these may be retired. To be honest, I don't know for sure, but they were called the Druzy Adhesive Backed, and we're going to be using the kind of champagne color right here that I thought went well with the Designer Series paper. And for the beautiful paper we're using, it is called, let me see, I can't remember the name of it for some reason. It's called Delicate Dreams. And it is beautiful. It has, if you can see, it has some copper foiling on it, and it's just gorgeous. And there are this beautiful pattern here. This is more of a dark secret sea, I think, pattern. Here's one with just the copper on it, which is gorgeous. Here's some, oh, I don't know what you call these, leaves, fronds with, again, the beautiful foiling. There is another very pretty floral one with leaves and everything being in the copper. And then this is the pattern that we're using today. And on the back side of all of these, there are just simple patterns, kind of busy. This one is the one we're using today, but there's a green, there's another kind of crumb cake, gray, another blue, and another kind of crumb cake linen look. So very nice papers. I really do enjoy them, and I love any of them that have the foiling on them. So in your packet, you will have, in addition to the envelope that you always get, you will have a Misty Moonlight card base. This is actually 8.5 by 5.5, scored at our usual 4 1/4. You'll have 2 pieces of basic white, one is for the front. Well, let's see, maybe I'm gonna have to cut, yeah, I need to cut this one down a little bit. It's really 4 by 5, and I don't think that's what I need. Oh, I guess it is. So it is 4 by 5. Let me double check. Oh, it's a bit off. I need, no, sorry. It's, let's get this right. I should have written them down. 4 by 5, exactly. Okay. Then on the inside, we're having one that is going to be 4, and I believe this one is 5 1/4. So that'll be for the inside. I'll put that on the inside right there. You'll have a small piece of basic white that we'll stamp our little flower on. You'll have a larger piece of basic white that we're going to do our die cutting on, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get done. Then you're going to have for the designer series paper, looks like I have an extra one here, you're going to have a piece of paper that measures 3 3/4 by 5, and then you're going to cut it into a 3-inch piece and a 2-inch piece. And we've done this layout, it's very quick and simple, and I do really love it. But you're going to turn that part over, and that's going to be the front of our card. You'll have a smaller piece that's about 3/4 of an inch for your envelope, and then we'll have another piece that is a 1/2 inch by probably 4 for the inside layer on your envelope. And this is a little tiny strip of balmy blue. This is 3/8 by the 4 or 3 3/4 that's going to go across our front treatment. Okay, so that's really all the pieces that we have today. So we're going to get started with our stamping, get that out of the way first. So we'll take our inside piece. This is the inside piece. Make sure, nope, better get this one. We might have a problem if I did that one. Oh, and the only ink color that we're using is our black Memento. Okay, so we're going to stamp our Forever and Always on here, and I am going to use my stamping mat, Pierce mat is what they call it. It's kind of a foamy piece that will help us since these are photopolymer. And hopefully I can get this straight, who knows. It's a rather cooler day, probably one of the coolest days I've had since I've been here in Lake Havasu, and it is windy, but I understand not near as windy as what my Colorado people are experiencing. My husband called me this morning and said, man, I can't even see. We have corrals just not very far from our house, and he said it's blowing and sand is blowing so bad I can't even see the corrals. So it must really be whipping it up there. Okay, and we're gonna stamp this down. Let it sit for just a minute. Pull it up. Okay, there's that. And then the only other stamping that we need to do, and I'm going to be totally honest with you, I struggle stamping, and I'm going to try to do this on my ink, on my pad. It's got a little bit of cushion. I struggle mightily getting stamps straight on a oval. I don't know why. Maybe my eyeball just doesn't register that shape, but we're going to give it our best shot, and whatever it turns out, it turns out. So this one says, so very happy for you. Again, I'm going to ink it up in the Memento Black. And I'm going to try, keep your fingers crossed, everybody. Oh, that's not too bad. Actually, I did pretty good on that one. Hallelujah. And let's see. I think that's it for the stamping. There's just not much stamping to do on this one. So we'll put our ink over here, have it available if we need it. Now, I will tell you this. The Memento Black ink does take a little bit of time. Oh, we do have one more stamp. So we have this little flower that we would ink up in the Memento Black. And I have already stamped it on this because we're actually going to do a little bit of coloring. And we're going to use the blends. And I'm using a blue. It doesn't really matter. This happens to be Night of Navy, which works just fine. And I'm going to use the dark. And I'm just going to do part of the coloring because I don't want to take up all your time. So I'm going to use the bullet point on this. And they are tight because alcohol markers will dry out pretty quickly. So we're going to just kind of go around this. And I like the bullet point because I have more control. There is a brush point, and if you're comfortable with coloring and painting, you are certainly welcome to use those, but I am not. And I have a hard enough time staying in the line and getting all the white covered up with the bullet point. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go around this whole flower. I'll just do one more petal here to show you. It's very simple. What I like about the alcohol markers, you don't get the lines from your pen like you do with either a crayon or a watercolor pencil. Now, let me see. I do have some green here somewhere, but where in the world did I put it? I must have covered it up with something. Let me find my green. Or I did not get it out. That's a better possibility. Oh, there it is. So we're going to do a green. This happens to be Granny Apple green, but any green that you had, and any marker that you have, you can use. It doesn't really matter. And all we're doing is just coloring in the leaves. The nice thing about Stampin' Up! Alcohol markers, they come in a light and a green. And if you had a larger image, you can use the dark and the light in combination and do some shading. But this is not large. Oh, do you see what I just did? I have a green petal, but that's okay. You can always go over it. It'll change the color a little bit, but not very much. But thankfully, I've planned in advance. So if this were all colored, we would take our die that I did something with. Boy, I've got my stuff strung all over this morning. Anyway, I have the little die, and I did lay it out here. I am going to have to find it because I cannot have a die lost. That is a disaster. Oh, there it is. Whew. And so we'll just take this and put it on here and cut it out. And when we do that, we end up with this very, if I can get it picked up, this very pretty little flower. And that's what we're going to be putting on our card front. Okay, so we'll continue finishing off the inside. We have a small piece of, and I'm so sorry I'm reaching in front of everybody, but the counter that I have here, there's just no other way for me to do it. So we're going to be putting this on this side, and you could use whichever side you wanted. I decided to use the plaid just to kind of color bring the front to the inside a little bit. And I do have and we'll take this, let's see, I have a sheet here that'll help keep the sticky off of my pad. And we're just gonna do this like we always do, and we've all done this treatment in class many times. And we will put this on the bottom. And you have the choice of moving it up a little bit or putting it right even. I moved mine up just a little tiny bit. Oops, got something stuck. Okay, and now we're gonna put this on the inside of our card. So you'll take your card base and you will stick this on the inside. You have a border, like we normally do. Okay, now we'll work on the front. So you're going to take your other piece of Designer Series paper. Again, this is 5 inches, and you're going to take your 2 pieces of, okay, this is my day to not keep track of things, ladies. I do apologize. So we have this piece, although this is going to go at the bottom, and we have, there it is, just right in front of my face, and this piece is going to go on the top. But guess what? This needs to be just a tiny bit longer. I guess I should have cut them both at 5 1/4. So if you'll hold on just 1 second, I'll grab another one and cut it real quick. Thankfully, I have my trimmer right here. I'm sorry for the blank space, but nothing on you for you to look at, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So we're going to cut a piece of paper. I'll bring it over here. You can kind of at least have a little bit of something to see. So we're going to cut it at 5 1/4 by 4. That's much better. Okay. Now we will be able to put our papers on without too much trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on both pieces. Like so. Okay, and we will take our piece here, and I'm going to kind of lay it upside down just to get an idea of how, if I did leave enough room for a nice border, and I believe I did. So this is going to go down here at the bottom with the border. I'm sorry, this is taking a little longer than I intended. Then we can take this one and do the same thing at the top, making sure, well, I guess I'll do this, making sure that we line up our edges, our sides, just like so, okay? Then you take your small piece of balmy blue, and we're going to stick that on the front, in the middle, to hide this seam on our front piece. Like so, okay? And then we will take this and put it on our card front, which once again has disappeared from me. There we go. So we're going to take this, we will attach this to the front of our card. Like so. Again, you have the border, our usual border all the way around. Okay. Now we will take our little frame that we, scallop frame that we cut out with the framelit. I'm going to put this down flat, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this. So I'll do that first, and I should have some dimensionals right here. My card classes here are not going very well because there's not too many people interested, and they are very much into playing cards and doing that type of thing. So I doubt that I'll be having any more classes, because I didn't have anybody sign up for this week, and last week I only had 2, and they only wanted to do a Valentine card. So I'm thinking I don't really care. I'm just taking a nice little break from doing my classes. I'm looking forward to getting back home and having my classes with all you guys, you girls, like we always do, and we will be having one in April. So I'm going to take I'm going to use my liquid glue because this is pretty tiny, and hopefully it's going to work for me. Of course it doesn't want to today. This is my day. Let's see if I can. Do I have another one anywhere? Oh, okay, I'm just going to have to squeeze on this really hard till I get some to come out. I think it's clogged. And I don't think it's going to come out. I'll get it unclogged, and then I will be right back. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, I found a straight pin. Maybe I can get this to be unclogged. It's again, you don't have the things that you're used to working with at home. And I don't have those here. Now let's see. There we go. Okay, we're going to take, pardon me, we are going to take the little frame, and we're just going to put some little dots of glue around it. Doesn't take much to hold it. It's very light. Now it's going to come running out way faster than I want it to. That's the way it goes, isn't it? Hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Oh man, I'm in trouble today. A great Valentine's. Maybe you had time to go out to dinner with your husband or whatever. It was very quiet here. They did have a Valentine party at the clubhouse, but you know, I wasn't too much into it, going by myself, so I did not go. And that's okay. I don't mind. My husband sent me a nice little Valentine, which is something we don't usually do, and so I had to call him back and say, okay, what'd you do? What are you trying to cover up here? He said, well, I just missed you, which I thought was very sweet. So, and of course I did have a piece of Valentine chocolate. You have to have chocolate on Valentine's Day, really, don't you? Okay, now, so I put the dimensionals on the back, and we are just going to put this, hopefully right side up, and line it up inside this frame. And I did not do very badly getting that straight. Perfect. I'm thrilled because I have struggled with that. You don't know how many ovals I've cut out and how many little lacy frames I have because I had to do the ovals over and over. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our little gems and put them right here. Oh, and I also have to do, we have to do our little flower, and we're going to put this right there, and that takes care of our embellishments. And our flower we are also popping up with dimensionals that are somewhere right here. And I just put one here and one here. But before we put them on, if I can find my, I swear I had all this stuff out. There it is. My Wink of Stella. And we're just going to add a little sparkle to this pretty blue flower, just to make it sparkle a little bit. And we are almost there, ladies. I'm so sorry this one turned out to be longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, and then we will take off our backings. And we will take and put this wherever you want. I had it on the oval a little bit, and it is the same height, so it worked out perfectly fine. And then for our envelope, which again has eluded me, there it is. We will take our larger strip of designer series paper, and I'm just going to take my glue, and I'm going to put mine over a little bit, so I'm going to move it over and just run some glue down there. I'm going to take this, glue it down. Reach for my scissors. Trim this off. And there we go. We finally got it done. Thank you so much. I think you all know that I appreciate any views that you give me, whether you do it in the evenings or during the daytime. Each and every view is greatly appreciated. And I hope to see you next week, and may God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.